Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Raw Radiant Health, and I'm Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me. I was thinking today, since it's Tuesday and it's the day after Labor Day, and I know that a lot of students are going back to school. A lot of them are already back in school, and I'd say over the past month I've received a lot of emails asking me to talk about some tips for students that are raw, that want to stay on a raw food diet while they're in school. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today, but I just want to say really quickly, before anyone decides to shut this off because they think they can't get anything out of it because they're not a student, is anyone can get something out of this, because you know, I'm directing this towards students, but in actuality it's for anyone that's leaving their home and spending 8 hours a day anywhere. So if you work at an office, you'll get something out of this. It's pretty much on how to be prepared and how to stay raw when you're out and about and you've got the pressures on and you're a student. So so I'm going to give you some tips, and I just want to first say though that I think it is fantastic that young people that are students are on raw foods. I think it's wonderful. I think it's the best thing you can do for yourself, because this is the time when you want your brain to work. And not only do you want it to work, but you want your brain to like function so well that, and you also, you want to feel good. You want to look good. You want to be healthy and clear and creative and just use your potential. And the most important time is when you're in school, because this is the time when not only are you exploring things, but this is the time when you're also exploring yourself and getting to know yourself better, and you might be living on your own for the first time, and you're meeting new people, and just everything. You're growing more and more into who you are. And I just think it is so good that you're also embracing a healthier lifestyle and raw foods, because it's like being on a rocket. I mean, it's so good. So congratulations to everyone. So on to some tips for students out there. Now, the first thing that I always stress to anyone that's on a raw food diet is the importance of being prepared. Okay, for me that's like the #1 essential ingredient. If you want it to work, if you want anything to work in your life, you've got to be prepared. And what that means with the raw foods is, first of all, like the fundamentals is to make sure that you have enough food, okay? So when you're going to buy your groceries, make sure that you're buying groceries for at least 3 days, 3 or 4 days. So you're buying a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, some nuts, some seeds, and just get a variety, because the last thing you want to be is like eating the same thing day in and day out and being like, I hate my food, I'm so sick of it, I'm so bored with it. So get a variety. And the reason why I say to be prepared and to have your, if you're living at home, to have your refrigerator stocked, or if you're living with people, to have enough food. And if you're living in a dorm, I know it might be a bit more difficult, because either it's sort of a communal fridge you share with people and you might have like a little section, but whatever you can fit in there, put it in there. And I mean, your fruits, things like that, those things don't need to be refrigerated anyways. So, and that you can store in your room or in the communal kitchen. And I know that there's people out there too that don't even have a communal kitchen. Like, they literally have their dorm room and they've got to use their bathroom as like their bathroom sink, as their kitchen sink. Okay, there's people out there doing it, and there's raw foodies out there that are doing it, which at the end I'm going to tell you of a video to check out, but I'll tell you that at the end of this video of where to find out more information. But so the main thing is you want to stock your fridge or your room with food, okay? And the second thing is you want to make sure that you have utensils and a plate and a bowl, all that stuff. Like, make sure you've got it down. And if you like to have blended food, like if you like smoothies, and this is the kind of stuff that you had when you were at home and now you're at school, and get a blender. You can get one at a garage sale for for a few dollars. I mean, it's not, there's always a way. If you want something bad enough, you'll always find a way. So, okay, so that's with the appliances and stuff. And one thing that I always suggest, and I travel with this all the time, is my favorite suggestion is the steak knife, okay? Now, as you see the steak knife, it has a serrated edge, right, the little teeth. So this thing never needs to be sharpened, and it's always sharp. It cuts through everything. This is perfect to cut fruit, to cut your lettuce, to cut your vegetables, everything. You can put this in your purse, or you can keep it in your dorm room, or wherever you want. It costs, what, $2, $3 for this? I've traveled with steak knives for years. My mother doesn't even use like a chef's knife to cut anything. She uses a steak knife. She always has. And so, I mean, these things are easy to use and, you know, hazard proof. You're never going to cut yourself with one of these. So it's perfect. So if you can, get one of these, have it in your room or have it in your bag. And, you know, one thing I suggest is always, like, not only being prepared, but it's also, like, when you're going to school, you got to make sure that you've had your breakfast and your lunch. You got your lunch prepared. And if you don't have your lunch prepared, you've always got to know a plan B. What I'm talking about with the plan B is knowing of a restaurant that you can get a cheap salad, okay, and a real salad, not like iceberg lettuce salad, but like a real salad you can get. And, you know, that they have a lemon that you can squeeze on it for a dressing. Always make sure that you know somewhere around the school area that you can get either a salad or you can get a bunch of fresh fruit. Either it's a convenience store or it might be a little mini mart, who knows. But scope out the area from school that you know, like, uh-oh, I don't have, you know, you slept through your alarm clock, you got to get to school, you don't have enough time to make your lunch. You got to know that where you can pick some food up. And that's why I always suggest to have 3 days worth of fruit and veg in your refrigerator, is because when those things happen in the morning, you can just grab your bag and throw like a bunch of fruit in your bag, go to school, no problem. On that note as well, I want to suggest to always carry around extra food with you. Carry around maybe a little bag of nuts or a bag of little seeds, and also fruit. Carry around fruit that's easy, fruit that's not going to make a mess, okay? Last thing you want is any kind of food that makes a mess. So my suggestion is carry around, it could be apples, it could be bananas, it can be an orange, you know, like, or carrot sticks. Do you know that the first year I was raw, I used to walk around always with a bag of carrot sticks in my purse, always. You know, this was like, if I had to go somewhere and I wasn't sure how long I'd be away from my home and if I'd get hungry, I always had my carrots with me. So carry around either the fruit or vegetable sticks or some seeds and nuts, or all of it. But just always make sure you got something on you, just in case you're delayed somewhere and you're going to find yourself hungry. You got something, okay? My last suggestion as well is to get in the habit of preparing your meals the night before. So make a huge salad the night before school, and in the morning, that's when you put your dressing on, or bring the dressing with you to put on there, okay? But make the salad the night before, because you don't want to have too much to do first thing in the morning. You want to just like be able to throw everything together and go. Okay? Oh, and one more thing, I almost forgot. Anne, who was part of my acne coaching group, she did a great video on her dorm room as being a raw student. So go to my blog, and the link will be on today's blog post, or check her out on YouTube at Blue Sigma. Okay? Have a fabulous day. Bye!